Welcome. Don't adjust your dial. Welcome everyone to a bit of Pickering Unplugged. You know, every now and again I like to have a little bit of a conversation with you outside of that global news we do. So season 1 is wrapping up. We just made 100 episodes this week. And next week we make 5 months and we're officially starting season 2. A person from my past during the week reached out to me after many, many years. And in the process of conversation, we got to start talking about Lofi Poli Sci and how it came about. And let me first say, I'm so thankful to this person. Positivity and inspiration go a long way. Thank you. Secondly, though, it made me realize for all of the thanking I've been doing to you Lo-Fi listeners lately, I never really laid out how it all came about. So I decided it was time. At Lo-Fi Nation, this is our story of creation. So take a minute, sit back and relax. This is going to take a little bit. It's the story of Lofi Poli Sci. Or rather, as I like to think of it, just another 19 story. And let me preface this all by saying, I generally don't talk about the 19 on the cast. I don't even like the full abbreviated version of it. But I'll say it this one time. When I say this is just another 19 story, the number 19 represents COVID-19, the coronavirus. And when I say this is just another 19 story, what I mean by that is that everyone really has a 19 story. A story about how our lives changed. But this one is just one of mine. But truly, it became one of ours. So everyone knows I teach, I profess, I try not to regress, but from time to time, it most certainly happens. Right after Mardi Gras 2020 this year, the first week of March, we started getting word in New Orleans that things were getting serious with the 19. And on March 12th, the whole university, they decided they were going to do a testing day, an online day. Students didn't have to come, and professors would all teach remotely, just in case things got bad. And, people were joking at the time that it'd be like a free pajama day. You didn't have to get out of bed to go to class. But then that week, on Wednesday the 11th, we got word that the university would be going fully online for 2 weeks, beginning the following week. But that we would return to finish the semester in person. Man, we were quite naive, weren't we? So Friday the 13th, March 13th, and that's not a funny pun, it's just simply the day that it happened. It was midterms for one of my classes, and anything but a normal day for my other Friday class. On Friday the 13th of March, and on Thursday the 12th for my other class at my other university, that was the last day I saw any of my students in person, 5 months ago this week. And I miss all 79 of you dearly. At one university, we flipped online on the spot. I mean, it was quick as can be, no time to prep. For the other one, we had 1 week of transition time. Now, for anyone who's had a class of mine or who knows me and what I do, they always know that I start off my classes by saying, so, what's going on in the world today? Talk to me. What's been happening? You see, it's because I teach political science. I specifically teach comparative politics. I look across the globe at 200 or so countries that are, and I go from there. And you can't teach something like that, and you can't learn something like that without consuming global news regularly. It updates us, it informs us, it educates us as to how things are truly taking place in the world. So every day I'd say, what's going on in the world today? And that's how we always began class. And so too is it how Lofi Poli Sci began. You see, I wanted a way to keep connected to my people, a way to keep our conversation going and to keep some sense of normalcy in our lives, without having to do all that Zoom bullshit, because everyone was going buck wild over it at the time. And let me be clear, Lo-Fi Nation, because this is Pickering Unplugged. Fuck Zoom. It's a tool, and that's all I'll say. You see, I told you I digress from time to time. But most importantly, I wanted a way for my people to hear my voice Monday through Friday, to know that I was still there and that they were never alone. So I created Lofi Poli Sci, 5 minutes and 5 stories a day, Monday through Friday, global news show podcast. For years, I had the name in my head because I love listening to lo-fi music while I do schoolwork. And Lofi Poli Sci was always the way I thought of myself, as a low-fi, as in low fidelity, low quality, in-your-face, messy as can be political scientist. I see myself quite differently than I see other political scientists. But perhaps we all do, really. Again, I regress. Although I know, I should say digress, regardless. So for 5 minutes, 5 days a week, my people would hear my voice and they wouldn't hear a thing about the 19. Because our class was our time and our time was about us. We were getting so inundated with the 19 news here, the 19 news there, it was the 19. It was, nonstop. I decided to take a stand and say no. Not us, not the we that we be. There was still so much going on in the world besides the 19 that everyone was just ignoring. Military coups were taking place, the Uyghurs in West China were being put in internment camps. P.S. Thank you, U.S. government, for finally waking up to that taking place. The civil war in Syria was still raging on. There was man-made famine going on in Yemen. The Rohingya in Myanmar were still being attacked and held in exile. There was so much happening, and all anyone could say was 19. But on March 18, that changed for us, and Lofi Poli Sci was born with headphones, an iPhone, podcast app, and a laptop. And at first, it was definitely lo-fi, low quality. I recorded the YouTube straight into the computer mic. Horrible quality. While at the same time, mind you, recording the audio right into my headphones to my phone. And I looked quite ridiculous while trying to record 2 things at once. Don't go back and listen to episode 1. Moving on. Over time, I went through different phases of delivery and styles, voices, segments. Weekly Wednesdays with Transparency International. Thursdays feature for Reporters Without Borders. Freedom House Friday. And finally, we got to where we are today with Messy Mondays and Tuesdays Top 10 Lo-Fi Global News. And especially everyone's favorite day of the week. That's right, it's another Good News Friday. Even my delivery right there, it took months to develop. A development that you were so important to. I always asked for help and you always gave it. You were just raw, rugged, uncut, uncensored. You just let me know your thoughts. Whether I was talking too slow, or was talking too fast, sounding like a 1920s radio person, or a present-day weatherman giving your local forecast, or that my audio was too low, or that was echoes in the background, or that you wanted pictures with the video. I'm working on it, though no promises when it will be, but it will happen for Season 2 at some point. But you were always there helping me out when I reached out. Thank you. And then finally the introduction of lo-fi music, which honestly took me a whole lot longer than I thought it would have. It started by me making a couple of lo-fi tracks for my people to listen to while studying. Sneak peek, another track is dropping for Season 2 really soon. But I wanted intro and outro music for the cast. I wanted to make it more alive. So I dug in and made some stuff and asked for help again, and as always, you were there. Just in time for us to make the intro and outro music for the end of Season 1 going into Season 2, and get the volumes and the levels just right. And this past week, we marked our 100th episode together, and I wrote my love letter to you. Tuesdays, Top 10 Reasons I Love You, Lo-Fi Nation. And let me quote myself for a moment from that show. And yes, I know, pretentious as can be. And lo-fi students out there, in papers you have to cite work previously done, otherwise it is plagiarism, and you can plagiarize yourself. Yes, that's a fact. So in my love letter to you, I wrote, Number 1, the top reason I love you, Lo-Fi Nation, because you are Lofi Poli Sci. Because this thing we do, it's more than just me, it's the we that we be. You see, every time I say those words, they couldn't be truer. This thing we do, it started because of you. This thing we do keeps going because of you. I keep going because of you. When I say the words, it's the we that we be. It's a reminder to all of us that none of us are ever alone. And let's be clear right now, Lo-Fi Nation, what do I mean when I say that? Lo-Fi Nation is all of you and everyone. Everyone is us. Full stop. Lame and sappy, I know, but every so often, don't we need a little bit of that in our lives? So where are we at today? We started playing with sound clips between segments recently. We were using, today, noise reduction audio software finally. We literally built a mic box to cancel out ambient noise around the microphone. And we're using a real microphone, provided by Lo-Fi Nation, in fact. Thank you for that. And again, yes, working on the pictures and art things for the video for Season 2. And the latest update, really. Give me your thoughts on the intro I made for this cast. I wanted to do something different and special for this story, but at the same time use the Season 1 intro to tie the themes together, representing the transition in life that's about to take place. But now I'm thinking I like it enough to maybe use it for all of Season 2. So let me know your thoughts. And really, that's where we're at. We're about to kick off Season 2. Only because of you. There's no doubt in my lo-fi mind that I wouldn't be here if it were not for you. So thank you, Lofi Nation. Or rather, I can honestly say this. Thank you, Lofi Poli Sci, for making us the we that we be. But really, this is just another 19 story. Reach out always. We're here. I'm here. See you in Season 2, Lofi Nation. Pickering, signing off.